It's my belief that the most basic and fervent of all human desires is for people to have a chance to work, and to have a chance to work with the idea that they don't have to be afraid of not being able to do so in the next month, or the next 6 months, or the next year.
They provide services, they produce goods, they go to work to try to build a better life for themselves and their families, and millions of them are barely surviving. Many of them are working at the poverty level or below the poverty level. There is a problem in this country when people, adults who go to work and work hard, can't earn a living wage, don't have health care, don't have retirement security, aren't treated with decency and respect on the job.
The American Recovery and Reinvestment Act is a major down payment on our long-term economic future. But another key to economic recovery is rebuilding a middle class in this country, and that's why we need the Employee Free Choice Act.
We find ourselves today in an extremely difficult economic situation. We could spend a whole day talking about the policies that took us there, a whole set of deregulation that have just left markets open, that has really destroyed our economy for working people. But one of the policies also is what's happened with our labor laws, where unionization has declined dramatically over the last 30 years.
Big business and corporate CEOs have too much power, they make too much money, and they wield too much influence. They get golden parachutes and bailouts, while the workers get lower wages and higher health care costs and reduced pensions. And so the Employer Free Choice Act, it levels the playing field. And so the real question here is, do workers like Gail and Jose get the freedom to choose whether they can form a union, or will the bosses continue to be allowed to harass and intimidate and fire those ones who try?
They should have the opportunity to join with other individuals who think like them, with their colleagues, with their co-workers, to join together so that they too can share some of what we call power and influence in this, the greatest nation on the face of the earth.
But we don't commit to making a serious investment in good union jobs now, we won't be able to generate the revenues for a strong economy. If we don't generate the revenues for a strong economy, that means too many of our children won't get the education they need to become deep thinkers and high earners. And that means that the cost of health care will continue to bankrupt families and keep our employers uncompetitive with their foreign counterparts. And that means that our ability to build greater global competitive economy will be lost to other countries. And that means that we won't be able to invest in clean energy economy, which will reduce our dependence on foreign oil and save our planet in the process.
And now we have an opportunity, especially in the Senate, to make sure that any individual, any person, has the freedom and the right to become part of a union.
We need to let workers use their own collective strength to raise themselves up. In this country, we need to restore the American dream. We can do that. The Employee Free Choice Act has to be a key part of the recovery, because this recovery needs to be for America's working families.
And that's why we need the Employee Free Choice Act, because it demands that employers treat workers with the dignity and respect that they have earned and deserve. And with the Employee Free Choice Act, we can rebuild an economy that draws on the full talents of every American worker.
So I would urge my colleagues in the Senate to move ahead and act. I would urge the President of the United States, our President, to let's put this item on the agenda for passage in the Senate as quickly as we can, so that we stimulate the hearts and minds of people who will know that they too have the right to be protected, to organize, and to help make decisions.